Fox 61 News at 10 starts now.
Right now at 10, police are searching for a suspect after one man was killed in an attempted carjacking. The new details we're learning about this shooting tonight.
Vice President Kamala Harris visiting Connecticut this week. We'll break down the politics behind this move in a competitive congressional race in our state.
And Connecticut volunteers are helping Florida recover from the catastrophic damage of Hurricane Ian. We're going to hear from one of those volunteers about the devastation he's seeing. But we begin at 10 with new details after one man was shot and killed during an attempted carjacking in Hartford. Good evening, I'm Jen Bernstein.
And I'm Ben Goldman. Thanks for joining us here at 10 o'clock. Two other people were injured in the shooting that happened on Park Street this afternoon. Fox 61's Alicia Machado covered this as breaking news earlier today. She joins us live outside Hartford Police Headquarters tonight with what we're now learning. Alicia.
Yeah, well, Ben, Jen, this marks the 29th homicide in the capital city, and tonight police are looking for one male suspect at this time. We're told after an attempted carjacking, there was an exchange of gunfire between the carjacking victim and the suspects. Hartford police investigating into the night after a shooting left one person dead and two others injured Monday afternoon on Park Street. Police say after an attempted carjacking, there was an exchange of gunfire. The carjacking victim and suspects shooting at each other.
I mean, it's just crazy that it happened in broad daylight.
This all happened just before 3:15 p.m. in the parking lot of an apartment complex and storage area on Park Street near Pope Park Highway.
Upon arrival, they did locate a male victim in the parking lot who was unresponsive. They immediately began life-saving measures, called for EMS.
But that person died of their injuries.
It's pretty surprising for like this specific area, just because the Parkville market is right here and everything. But I mean, it's not too surprising for Hartford. There's been a lot of murders and stuff like that going on in the area.
Police say the preliminary investigation revealed the person who died may have been a suspect. A second victim was located at Hartford Hospital with gunshot wounds, according to police.
Transport vehicle that dropped him off fled the scene and crashed on Seymour. That's why we have a secondary scene over there. That driver is outstanding. He fled from the vehicle.
A third person, believed to be the victim of the attempted carjacking, was found on the side of the building a short time later with multiple gunshot wounds. They were transported to Hartford Hospital, where they are listed in critical but stable condition. According to police, the victim was a pistol permit holder. Police say it appears the driver was followed into the parking lot for their vehicle.
This is normally a very quiet area. This area, Park Street, doesn't see too much crime. Unfortunately, saw it today.
Now, no one has been identified by police at this time, neither the suspects nor the victim, but we are working to get more information, and we'll bring you that as we get it both on air and online at fox61.com. If you know anything about what happened there, contact Hartford Police. We're live in Hartford tonight. Alicia Machado, Fox 61 News.
Alicia, thank you. Keep us updated. All right, moving on here on this Monday night, we want to get a check on the weather watch with Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank. And I don't know about you guys, but it was cold today.
Yeah, and it was raining a little bit tonight, as you can see.
Definitely one of those days and nights that I just wanted to crawl back into bed and snuggle up under the covers. But we're going to do it again for 2 more days, so the show must go on. A lot of clouds out there tonight. We had one round of showers push through. Now there's a break in the action. We're on the northern fringe of a storm to the south of us, and that's how it's going to be. As it rotates, little impulses of energy will come through. So occasional showers off and on tonight, tomorrow, and Wednesday. And on top of it, it'll be cloudy, chilly, and yes, breezy. We've had this wind around right through the weekend and into the day today, and it likely gets a bit more windy heading through the day tomorrow, with winds out of the northeast and gusts that could tomorrow get up to around 30 miles per hour. Temperatures right now are in the 40s to around 50 degrees. It just feels chilly and raw. Most of the night tonight, the showers will be in the southern half of the state, but as we start to head towards daybreak and the morning commute tomorrow, I think those showers will get farther north. It won't rain all day long tomorrow. Again, it will be off and on, so keep the umbrella by your side, but there will be dry times in between that you can run outside and get an errand done without getting wet. Highs will stay in the 50s tomorrow. It's another copycat version of this for Wednesday, maybe just a little bit less wet, and then the sun comes back out. We also have some warmer temperatures, but they don't stick around for long. We'll explain coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Well, tonight we're learning more about Vice President Kamala Harris's planned visit to Connecticut later on this week.
This comes about a month before next month's midterm elections, and she's going to host a discussion about abortion rights at Central Connecticut State University, along with Congresswoman Johanna Hayes and the head of Planned Parenthood. Fox 61's Tony Black joins us live from CCSU's campus in New Britain after speaking with a professor there who says there are political motives behind this visit. Tony.
Yeah, Ben and Jen, Congresswoman Johanna Hayes says that her discussion with the Vice President.
Everything that a vice president does is a political move. That shouldn't necessarily lead us to think that there's something unsubstantive about it.
Vice President Kamala Harris will make a trip to Central Connecticut State University in New Britain Wednesday to discuss abortion rights. Among those joining her, the national president of Planned Parenthood and Connecticut Congresswoman Johanna Hayes. Hayes is up for re-election this November. CCSU Political Science Associate Professor Gerald Duquette says this visit will help Hayes' bid, even though her team says it's not official campaign business.
Representative Hayes is the most vulnerable member of the Democrats in the House in Connecticut.
Duquette says there's vulnerability in her race for the 5th Congressional District. She's going against Republican George Logan, who Duquette says Connecticut residents may find support for because he's not considered far right.
This is a person of color. This is a former state senator. This is not an unreasonable person.
Congresswoman Hayes says this discussion is about the elimination of women's rights after Roe v. Wade was overturned by the Supreme Court, allowing many states to enact their own laws regarding abortion services.
The evisceration of women's rights is not something that comes back quickly. Once those freedoms are gone, they're gone.
But why discuss reproductive rights in a state that already has state laws protecting it? Hayes says it's personal to both her and Vice President Harris.
She wants it to be about the national narrative because in Connecticut, the national narrative is very important to voters. They certainly don't want to contribute to further eroding women's right to choose.
Republican challenger Logan says he is pro-choice but does not agree with late-term abortions. He argues the timing of this visit is campaign-related and says there are other issues on top of mind for voters like the economy.
So I think it would be more important to have the opportunity of having the Vice President of the United States of America here in Connecticut, here in New Britain, to talk about those issues.
Professor Duquette says that the campaigns are hoping voters walk away with their own message. Congresswoman Hayes saying that a vote for her Republican challenger could lead to a nationwide abortion ban, where on the other side of the party, George Logan saying that Congresswoman Hayes is just out of touch with her district and that she's just following the Biden administration. Live in New Britain, Tony Black, Fox 61 News.
All right, Tony, thank you. And be sure to stay with Fox 61 for complete coverage of the Vice President's visit to Connecticut on Wednesday. You can download the free Fox 61 News app to get all the information you need right on your phone.
New at 10, an 11-year-old in Waterbury was arrested after being accused of making a threat referencing Gilmartin Elementary School. Police say the threat was posted on social media and that there were more officers at the school today as police investigated the threat. The 11-year-old, we're told, is not a student there and is charged with first-degree threatening and second-degree breach of peace. Several other schools in Waterbury have also dealt with threats made against them in the last few weeks.
A Hartford man was found guilty of manslaughter in connection with the death of his baby daughter. This case stems back to 2018 when officials got a call about a badly injured baby. 7-week-old Emily was found with a brain bleed and a severe spinal injury. Her parents, Edward Babylonia and Ashley Perez Rivera, were both arrested. The investigation revealed that both parents tried to stop the baby's crying, but police say that Babylonia shook the baby, caused her injuries. That baby died several days later at the hospital. Perez Rivera pleaded guilty to charges in the case as well.
Well, Fotis Doulos' former friend and civil attorney, Kent Mawhinney, appeared in court today. He's charged with conspiracy to commit murder in connection to the disappearance of Jennifer Farber Doulos. The mom of 5 hasn't been seen in more than 2.5 years. The judge says unless a new motion is filed or no new information comes up, there will be no need for future case hearings. No trial date has been scheduled.
A Hartford man's facing robbery charges in an ATM holdup. He appeared in court today. Bristol police say that they received a call early Sunday morning about an armed robbery at the Webster Bank ATM on Farmington Avenue. The victim reported being held up at gunpoint. Police say they identified the suspect as William Walker from Hartford. They said he tried to drive away after officers spotted him, but police said they managed to catch up to his car.
Well, new at 10, we're hearing from the state after West Hartford alerted its residents about unsolicited absentee ballot applications from candidate campaigns. Deputy Secretary of State Scott Bates says that these applications are allowed to be sent out as long as whoever sends them follows the law.
Groups out there, political parties or interest groups can send these applications out, but they have to register with the town clerks when they do it. To let them know what's going on.
Now, if you want an absentee ballot, West Hartford says applications can be downloaded from the town's website and then brought to town hall. If you receive an unsolicited application and don't need an absentee ballot, you can just throw it away.
We have much more.